So I'm going to do something a little bit different in conjunction with my Pyramid of Power. This is a new segment called Fraud Watch, where each week I'm going to put 3 teams that I think are getting an inordinate amount of praise or backing for their performance. I already kind of did this once when I said that the Detroit Red Wings would cool off after their absurdly hot start, which they did. So I am now going to give my 3 teams that I put on Fraud Watch. So in the future, when these teams drop down, I could say I told you so, and if they don't and they continue going on heaters, well, I can look like an idiot. So the first team and the biggest fraud I have so far is the Vancouver Canucks. They are tied for the 3rd best point percentage in the NHL with New York at 9 wins, 2 losses, and 1 OT shootout loss. They have a goal differential of +30. They're 7-2-1 over their past 10 games. And in all honesty, the Vancouver Canucks are a good team. Just because they're on the Fraud Watch doesn't mean they're not good. But I don't think they're a top 5 team in the NHL. I think they're very solidly a playoff team. But the underlying analytics do not support the idea that the Vancouver Canucks are going to maintain this pace and be in competition for the top spot in the West. Now, why are they frauds? Well, number one, their 5-on-5 analytics are pretty bad. They are actually 4th worst in expected goal differential at 5-on-5 this year. Now, in all situations, they're very good. They're right in the middle at 14th overall. The difference is, of course, their power play. They have the 4th best power play in the league at 32.6% efficiency. In a small sample size, that is obviously going to have to go down. There's no way that they can maintain scoring on almost a third of their power plays. And again, to be clear, I am not putting the Canucks on the fraud list because I think they're a bad team or they're not going to make the playoffs or they're going to lose like 7 of their next 10 games. But what I am saying is I don't think that they're the 2nd best team in the West and a top 5 team in the NHL. I think that they will make the playoffs right now because of their hot start. I think they'll make it quite comfortably, but they're not going to maintain this level of play. The next team that I have on my Fraud Watch is the winners of 6 straight before their loss last night, the Anaheim Ducks. Currently sitting at a 7-5 record with 14 points in 12 games. The Ducks rattled off 6 straight wins, including some impressive victories over teams like the Golden Knights, Penguins, Flyers, and Bruins. And as a result, they've gotten over their terrible start to be right back in the thick of the standings. However, in that 6-game winning streak, it's important to remember that 3 of those games were wins by 1 goal, 2 of the games were 2-goal wins, and the other one was their only impressive win, a 3-goal victory over the Philadelphia Flyers. During that time, the Ducks did not give up more than 4 goals in any single game, and that's the big reason why they were so successful. They've gotten incredible play from both of their goaltenders, John Gibson and Lucas Dostal, who have put up save percentages of .921 and .920 so far this season. But the team itself is pretty dismal. It has the 5th worst expected goal differential of -6.44, and that's mainly because of their goaltenders playing outside of their mind. They're taking the 5th fewest shots per game, while also being bottom 10 in shots against per game. Kind of like the Canucks, they're getting bailed out by really good goaltending on their end, but on the other hand, they're winning a lot of these coin flip games by 1 or 2 goals. And also, let's not forget that outside of those 6 games that they won, the Anaheim Ducks have a record of 1-4. Maybe they are just a streaky team, or maybe this win streak was an aberration, but right now I'm not putting them as, oh, the Ducks are the likely team to make the playoffs. I still think they will miss it, especially if and when their goaltending regresses to the mean. And then finally, my last team on Fraud Watch for the week is, no, I'm going to get hate for this, but it's the Vegas Golden Knights. I know that they're the defending Stanley Cup champions and that they're the number 1 team in the NHL right now, but not only is this pace, the gaudy pace that they're on, unsustainable, but honestly, their whole style of play this year is just not sustainable. You want to know a stat that's absolutely going to shock you? The Vegas Golden Knights are 9th worst in the NHL in shots for per game at 29%. They actually have a slightly negative shot differential per game this year. And as a result, they also have a negative expected goal differential on the year, just slightly, which doesn't align with the fact that they have a +24 goal differential this year, 2nd highest behind only the Canucks in the NHL. They're 8-1-1 over their last 10 games. Vegas is a really good team. I want to emphasize that. But they are not this good. They're not even close to being this good. And I think most people would agree that Vegas isn't going to lose all of like 8 to 10 games over the course of the season. But even to that extent, this is really unsustainable. I had Vegas picked as the 2nd team coming out of the Pacific Division behind the Edmonton Oilers, and with the Oilers floundering, although they are getting some horrible goaltending, and I think that they will turn things around, because of the hot start, I do think that Vegas is now going to end up winning the division. but I don't think they're going to win it as handily as they might be projected to do right now.